everyone. It is now officially Friday and I got back from my Pilates class a little bit ago. I was on the phone with my mom for a hot minute, so it is now like 10. I went to a new Pilates studio today and of course I get there and they're like, oh, you chose like the worst day. Like today is like inner thigh day, and I was like, of course it is. So my inner thighs do hurt quite a bit, but it was good. I really liked the studio. Today, I feel like I don't have much going on like the past couple of days. So I decided that I'll just do a Q&A throughout the day. I put it on my Instagram story for you guys to ask me questions. I might do another one eventually throughout VLOGMAS. So, you know, follow me on Instagram if you haven't so you can send in some questions. But yeah, I'm gonna just be answering some questions throughout the day while I like do work and stuff just to keep this a little more entertaining. But I did get a couple of packages. I keep getting like little like letters like this thinking it's like a letter from someone, and then I remember it's probably like patches for like custom orders. So this is probably a patch. I think this should be one of the last ones because I have gotten most. I'm doing like one so far, one like thrifted patchwork jacket, like reworked one, which is fun. So these are a bunch of patches like for it. Cute. This is a cute little Cornelia Street one. Super fun. I'm gonna put this with all the other ones. And then I got a package for like a Secret Santa. So I shouldn't open this. I don't think my friends are watching this, but just in case, I'm not gonna open this on camera. And then I got some bills. I need to finish editing my video and upload it. And I should be getting the rest of my gems today for the bodysuit. So I'm hoping we can get started on that today or tomorrow and like finish that off. And yeah, we'll be answering some questions. First question I got is, how's your health? Which is just a very nice question. I think my health is actually really, really good. I mean, physical health, I am solid, which is nice. I've obviously been working out quite a bit again, which has been so good for my mental sanity and also just my physical health. And I feel like I eat pretty like clean. So I feel like my physical health is usually like always good and normal. I've thankfully never had any like physical health issues, so thank God for that. Mentally though, it is that time of year where I go in and out of depressive episodes. So, you know, we haven't been like 100%, but I also think that's okay. And I'm just letting myself grieve the things I need to grieve and like go through the motions, feeling the negative emotions, because I think it's better to just like go through it and let it out than try to like ignore it and continue on as if life is like perfect and great, which it is. I really do love my life here, and I'm like so grateful to be in LA. And I feel like anytime I'm hanging out with friends here, I just like leave feeling so fulfilled and being like, this is what I moved here for. And like I'm just literally so grateful and I'm so happy to be here. But obviously that doesn't take away from like any other like personal things going on and like my mental health ups and downs. So I would say overall I've been good. I think I'm a lot better this year than I was the previous couple of years mentally, which I also think is attributed to the fact that it honestly like is sunny here every day. So I'm not like in this like dark, cold winter environment, and I'm like able to walk every day and like just be outside and like, you know, not die of cold. So that honestly has been so good for me, and I've really noticed a big difference with that. And I think also just the fact that I have more of a social life here than I've had in the past like few years of my life has been so nice, especially like post-pandemic and like post having to move back in with my parents, whatever, during the pandemic. It's just been so nice, and I feel so much more refreshed in that aspect. At the same time, it's still very up and down. That's not gonna like cure everything for me, but I think overall health is doing pretty good. So I'm really happy about it. I feel like I'm working a lot towards it, and I feel like I know myself really well at this point to know what I need or what I don't need, what I like should do, shouldn't do, whatever. And, like, one of the things I've really noticed lately is that if I ever drink, I get really anxious the next day. So I've been kind of just not drinking a lot. If I'm out and about, like didn't really drink over Thanksgiving, didn't really care for it. If I go out, I like, might have one glass at most of something, but like really trying to avoid that because I can notice that like kind of triggers me a little bit. I've also just like let myself rest and be off my phone and off everything if I am feeling a little too overwhelmed, because that usually helps me reset. I've noticed like when I need to just like go on a walk, or like when I just need like a mental break. I feel like I'm very aware of that nowadays. So long-winded answer, but health is doing good, and I appreciate you for asking because that is a very nice question. Okay, I'm waiting for my video to finish uploading, so I'm gonna answer another question. What is the next one? The next question is, will you be doing a 2023 mood board? And I will be doing it. I think I started doing this 2020 going into 2021, and I made like a video of making my mood board and talking about all my goals, and then like 2021 into 2022. I did a video reacting to that video and kind of seeing what I accomplished, and then making another mood board for 2022 and like so on. So I think I'm definitely gonna be doing it this year again. I'm super excited. I actually have my friend Yana coming for New Year's, and she's coming with her friend Emma, and they're staying with me over New Year's. So I told them, I was like, that's my one New Year's tradition, is that I love making a little mood board, so we're probably gonna do it together. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like film with them necessarily, but I will be making my mood board and doing that whole thing. I'm very excited about it. I think this year I have a very different like approach to it as I have the past couple years, because the past couple years have been very like number driven and very like exact things, which is fine, but I just have realized that my business and like what I like to do has just changed so much throughout the years, and I'm not so focused on just like number growth, and I'm focused on more like different growths, if that makes any sense. So I'm excited to do that video. I think it'll be great, but it is coming, and I do think it's gonna just be a yearly tradition at this point, because I love looking back on them and just kind of like seeing how much I've grown and what I did, and it just kind of keeps me accountable for those goals. And I feel like once you speak your goals and speak the things you want into existence, they kind of come quicker, and that's what I've noticed personally. The more I like say it, the more it happens. So yes, I will be doing it, and I'm so excited. I think it'll be super fun. So that should be coming, like, usually I like to upload it like January 1st, but we'll see. It might be like that first week of January. So stay tuned for that, because it's gonna be good. I'm gonna start making lunch soon, so let's answer some other questions. This one is, I want to start a sustainable business but have no idea where to start. Any tips? First of all, I have multiple videos where I've talked about how I started my business, if you want to watch those for like a full in-depth kind of vibe. But if you're wanting to start a sustainable business, my number one thing would be to do your research on sustainability and really understand what you're wanting to like fix, or what solution you're trying to give to whatever industry you're being in, because it's so easy to just be like, I want to be sustainable, and then buy like eco-friendly packaging and call it a day. But it's like there's so much behind sustainability and so many gray areas that I think it's important to really understand what you're trying to fix and what you're trying to do with your business before you even start it. So that's my number one tip for a sustainable business. The next question is, how do you overcome fear? And then they said, you're such an inspiration, by the way, so thank you. I think that there's no easy way around it, and you just have to like face it full on. I'm trying to think of like specific times that I've faced fear and what I've done with it. For me, a lot of my fear comes from my anxiety around doing things. So after like 2020 and the pandemic, I spent so much time in isolation by myself that I started getting anxious to be in like bigger social gatherings, or putting myself in positions where I didn't know everybody at a specific place or whatever. But obviously the only way to face that is to just do it. So I put myself into different situations where I didn't know people and like whatever. So that's been a huge one. I think to just kind of go along with that, it's really just getting over the mentality of it, or like finding a new mentality around it. A lot of fear is really just you overthinking things, and a lot of the things that you might be fearful of aren't actually that scary, unless we're talking like natural disasters or bugs or things, like whatever. But if you're talking like life things, like I think a lot of the times we're just in our heads about it, and you just have to try to ignore all the voices and just go for it. And it doesn't mean that like once you do that one thing it's gonna be over forever. I think sometimes you have to work for it, and I think it took me a good year to feel comfortable in social settings again, and I feel like I'm in a good place with it now, where I don't feel super anxious about it. I'm still a little bit anxious sometimes if I don't know anybody at all, but I feel better about, even if I do go with somebody to a social setting, like making friends and talking to the people there, not just like standing in one corner with one person the entire time. So that's like my way around it. Or even like moving is obviously scary, like moving to LA, and like obviously I knew people but like not that well, and I didn't know the area or how it would go and all the things is scary. But at the same time I have to look at all the positives that will come from it and just be like, okay, well if I never do this, I'm never gonna reach all of those positives. So sometimes it's just changing the mindset, ignoring all the voices, and just looking at what good will come from overcoming that fear, and then just going for it. So that is my best advice there. Okay, let's answer another question. Do you combine all your sources of income and invest, or do you invest separately? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by invest. I don't invest and things. I am not knowledgeable in that whatsoever, but I do combine all my sources of income. And I think if you mean like invest into like my brand and stuff, then like yes, it all goes into one account. It's all under Natalia Trevino LLC, like my YouTube, my shop, everything's under the same thing. So if that's what you mean, then yes. If that's not what you mean, then I don't know. But I don't invest. I really don't know anything about that, so I'm not the person to ask about that because I'm not knowledgeable in that field. Tell us your favorite LA experiences so far in your first year. And that came from my friend Isabel, who I love so much. I have had so many great experiences in LA since being here. I don't even know where to start. I feel like I've been here a lifetime and I've only been here 6 months, which is also weird because it's like, wow, it's already been 6 months. But also I feel like I've been here forever. I have loved just getting to like meet friends and like hang out with people and finally have like girl groups again. I did not have a girlfriend group for the longest time. Like in college, I had 2 really close friends, but now we're not really friends. And then after that, when the pandemic hit, I had like my 2 closest best friends from home, but obviously we're long distance, so it's like different. We never got to hang out really. And they're still my best friends, but we just don't hang out, so it's different. And it's just been so nice here to hang out with people. I've loved the 2 like Soho House events I've gotten to go to. Sustainable fashion events have been super fun just to like meet people and be in that kind of space. Since Isabel asked this question, I loved going to the little Louis Vuitton exhibit with her and Eden. It was super cute and fun. I also loved the little like LA fashion district moment we had when I went with also Isabel, Brandy, and Joanne. It was super cute and fun. I've just had so many great moments. My birthday weekend was really, really fun. Just getting to have like a little birthday party with my friend and just all the things. So I've had a lot of great experiences and I really love everything so much. I think my absolute favorite moment thus far has been the little holiday party we had, because it just felt like one of those moments where I was like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted going into LA, and like knowing that I have that now is just like so fulfilling. So yeah, I've loved every aspect of it, minus the living on an air mattress moment, but it really has been great and I love it and I can't wait to see what we do next year. So the question is what I'm doing with NTA for this year, and I'm obviously going to fully answer that in my like 2023 goals video. But I would say that I'm thinking about it a lot because this year has just been so different than any other year with my business. And I think I realized that I want to like focus maybe less on like actual products and more on experiences, because I found that that really fulfills me a lot more than just the product itself. Not saying that I'm not gonna make products or whatever, but I think my emphasis might be less on that in the upcoming year. But maybe it won't be. I really don't know. But I think I'm like a little burnt out from just trying to sell products, especially in the sustainability space. It feels so counterintuitive to be like, shop less, and then also be like, hey, here are some pieces of clothing you should shop that you definitely don't need. So I find the balance between that and figure out what I really want to do there, but that's kind of where I'm at with that question. Okay, I think we're gonna do one last question and that's gonna be it for today's vlog. I'm just not feeling the full vlog, and to be honest, didn't really do too much today. Tomorrow will hopefully be a little bit more eventful since it's a Saturday, probably hang out with friends, and same with Sunday, and then it'll be our last week in LA before I go home for the holidays. So I'll answer a couple. So one of them is asking about what cameras and tools I use to make my YouTube videos and podcasts, and I've used the same camera for my YouTube channel and my vlogs since I think senior year of high school, so maybe 5 years or something, and I love it. It is my tried and true, and I know a lot of YouTube vloggers use it, and it is the Canon G7X Mark II. Literally my favorite camera. Is just so small and mobile, and I like that it has the viewfinder that you can flip up. So if I'm like looking at myself in the viewfinder, you really can't tell, because some cameras flip it to the side. If you flip it to the side, then like you can tell that you're looking to the side. So I'll take a picture for you guys to see like what it looks like. Yeah, it's just very compact and I really like it, and it has really great quality. It does really well in like low lighting settings. It's pretty bright, which I really love, like if you're filming at night or whatever. I also have the Canon EOS M50, which is what I usually use for my podcast and for like taking pictures. It's a little bit bigger, and I was gonna switch that to be my vlog camera, but honestly this one just works so well, and like that other one's a little bit bigger, so I use it for more like sit down videos and stuff, but primarily I use the Canon G7X Mark II. And as far as like my podcast, I use a Rode mic. They're honestly just a great company for sound equipment. So I use a Rode mic. I don't know exactly which one off the top of my head, but I will probably be in a studio to film my podcast for the next couple of months, which I'm really excited about. So I'll be using whatever equipment they have for that, because I just feel like I don't have the proper equipment for it. But the way I've been doing it is just recording it on GarageBand, which is like the sound editing system that Apple products come with. So I've been just using that and it works really well. So that is it. I don't really use any fancy crazy stuff. I don't even have a microphone on my camera. I know a lot of people like will buy those little tiny ones, like fuzzy ones that you can put on your cameras, but I don't even have that. So promise you don't need a lot of fancy things. And a lot of times I use my phone to film if I'm out and about, want to look less awkward if I'm like just putting out my phone instead of like a camera. And the last question I'm going to answer is, what is your favorite design you've made this year? And that is a really great question. I feel like I didn't make too many things. I feel like I started off the year making a lot of things, and then by the end of it I didn't make too many, but I really loved the Diana dress in the spring. That was, I think, like also my best seller for the year, and I just love it. I think it's such a beautiful design, and it like encompasses me as a person so well, because it's like feminine, it's classy, it's just like, you know, has a little bit of something to it because the fabric is just so like beautiful and textured, but it's also like a little bit sexy and like a little bit like, you know, edgy in that aspect. And I feel like you can dress it up into like an edgier way if you like pair it with like leather boots and like do that kind of vibe, or you can make it really ultra feminine. So I really like how much you can play around with it, and obviously you guys liked it too, because I think it really was my bestseller this year. But I also really loved the entirety of my New York collection. I feel like that also really encompassed me as a person really well, and kind of showed the more edgier side to me, because I started off really feminine and then like I was like, well, that's a little too much, and I'm not always like that. So I was really happy with that collection and how that turned out. So those are probably my favorites, and I'm excited to see what next year will be. Obviously next year is going to be like a bunch of custom orders, so I'm sure I'll have like so many favorites, but it'll be definitely a very different year than the past couple of years have been. But I'm excited to see how that unfolds, and just kind of figuring out what I want my business to look like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I might do another one of these soon, so follow me on my personal Instagram, which is @Natalia.Trevino, if you want to be part of the next one. So that is it. Subscribe for more if you're not already subscribed, because I am uploading daily, if you haven't noticed already, until Christmas anyway. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!